Start getting some anime music on.
Do you guys hear my voice?
Yes, we can.
Yep.
Welcome
Cool.
to the internet telephone call.
Thank you. And you're welcome.
Now where's Colin? Oh, be right back.
Hello?
Hello,
Yo, what's up? Who is this?
it's Yalmstein.
Nah, dude, I recognize that fucking voice, dude. What's up? Yo, are you guys gonna cast soon?
What's up?
Yeah,
Hey,
Alright. Yo, well, I was about to run out and get some food, dude. But, you should just, like, leave me in the call or whatever, and then I'll just, like, hop in, like, mid-game. I won't even be fucking watching, but I'll be like, yo, I know fucking loading takes garbage.
Because I
I'm
kind
probably-
of want some, like, a frozen pizza or something. If
That's,
you're
like,
going to
what
the
I was
store,
gonna do, dude.
you could just
Yeah.
pick that up for me.
I'll just
Thanks,
bring it
man.
upstairs. Don't worry about it. Alright, yo, bye.
fucking Colin. So I totally could have gone and go get my groceries, but no, instead I'm sitting here on the internet talking over video games.
I don't know. I think the choice is pretty clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to get some goddamn groceries. Except my car doesn't work anymore, so I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do.
You try walking or public transportation.
Do you
Lame.
think I'm some kind of poor person?
Do you know? Do you know how much I weigh?
You should just order a Papa John's esports pizza and have it delivered to your house. And that way you don't have to get up or anything except to get the door.
I tried, but Papa John's doesn't deliver to my apartment for some fucking reason.
Well, looks like esports is dead and you
Esports.
killed it.
Rip esports.
Actually, you know, I was into esports before they sold out. So, personally, I mean, the pizza, like, so fucking, you know what I'm saying?
Is this like yeah?
Like,
it's,
back when
esports is just way
DSL
too
was
corporate
like
now.
Pepsi,
You know?
that was my thing. You know, PepsiCo, that's a small local company. I can really get behind that kind of sponsorship.
That
but,
may or may
you know,
not-
PepsiCo, that's a small local company. I can really get behind that kind of sponsorship.
That
but,
may or may
you know,
not-
PepsiCo, that's a small local company. I can really get behind that kind of sponsorship.
My bad. My bad, everyone on the watching.
Alright, we have 5 minutes before the start time.
Ooh, I need to change my
You want to load up this replay?
name. Yeah, I think I'll just start it without
Yeah, he can jump into the
pausing
next game. Or
I think I'm just not gonna do the whole pausing thing. Just gonna
Okay, yeah,
jump right
whatever.
into it. Not a big deal.
no one cares.
No one cares.
I care.
I don't care.
Like I said, no one cares.
Fuck you.
Right, so who do we have playing? We have the GMs of BM versus Team Terran.
Terran. Yep. Lemonese team versus Penguins team.
Penguins team, I believe.
Yeah.
Did you post the lineup in the chat like 20 years ago? Like, I don't want to find it.
In the chat.
Oh yeah, you did. At 4:58 p.m.
Please copy and
Right here.
paste it into the chat again so I don't have to scroll up.
Where is it?
I put it in the call chat.
Alright, sweet. We are already off to a much better start than Dipwood and Epic said. We know who's playing and we know who's on each team.
Alright, somebody get into this replay. Who are we waiting for?
Says it's waiting for part. Okay, there we go.
Mine still says waiting for party.
Alright.
Oh no, now it's entering.
Alright, so I think we can get this cast started. So, this is our final match for the first week of Ripsy's Team League, and we have the GMs of BM going against Team Terran. So our first matchup will be on Whirlwind. It'll be our Masters versus Masters. We'll have Lemony Tang versus Penguin. Hopefully we'll hop into this game soon.
So judging purely by levels, I would say Penguin is the heavy favorite here.
Yeah,
Seems to
he
be about
is
3
almost
times
three
as
times as many
experience.
levels as.
He's also got the Infestor
Okay.
portrait, which kind of beats like
That means
Terran-
his stats are
Terran
going to
check.
be higher.
Yeah. So pretty good, I would say, pretty heavy favorite.
Yeah.
I think it'll be interesting to see if Penguin uses any of the special skins that might give him a heavy advantage in the mid and late game.
Are there any Terran skins? Or the Terran units are just already so badass they don't need...
The supply depot and the marine. Now, spawning in the bottom left, we have playing for teams GMs of BM. We have Penguin.
That's the pink Zerg there in the bottom
Yeah,
left.
just in case you were wondering the color and race.
In the bottom right here, we have our orange Terran player playing for Team Terran. It is Lemony Tang. Okay, so what do you feel about Whirlwind TVZ?
I feel like we casted a
We've-
Whirlwind TV.
Yeah, we've actually gone over this before.
So I know everyone.
Obviously, no
has
one
been-
was watching. We can assume that much. So you might want to recap what our conclusions were about this.
If you guys weren't watching, watch the fucking VOD. Get
Well-
out right now and watch the VOD, you dipshit.
I mean, I assume
Okay.
that they're not going to be watching us now anyway, so not a big deal if we don't really explain anything.
Yeah, but we need to fill the dead air with something.
We could always
Pretty-
talk about anime. You love anime.
Yeah, I fucking love anime. What is your favorite anime?
Is there any good, like, non-pornographic stuff? Because, I mean,
No.
personally, I only watch it while jerking off. But, like,
Well,
anything
I mean,
good
same
for
here,
just,
but
like,
it doesn't have to be pornographic for me to jerk off to it.
Alright, so it looks like we have a hatch first coming out of Penguin. That's going to be scouted immediately by Lemony Tang.
some innovative strategy going on here.
Yeah.
Pretty good position for the Zerg, though. He's going to see
On the
his
other
CC
side,
first.
I think we're going to see a CC first.
So he instantly scouts it. Could go 3 hatch, but he's not because he's a pussy. Big mistake, I would say.
Yeah. If you're not constantly just building hatcheries as Zerg, I feel that you're not playing to the strengths of your race.
Yeah.
The general rule is to be 2 to 3 bases up on your opponent at all times as Zerg, so right now he's far behind.
Well, and especially against CC first, you really don't need that fast gas.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's probably will be fine, but if it were me, I would cancel the shit out of that gas and make a hatchery. But
I feel like if Penguin
I'm
wants to do
terrible, so.
some Baneling, Baneling bust or maybe Roach aggression, it shouldn't be too bad to punish the CC first.
Alright, so we have an SCV now going to town on the gas geyser, just as a reminder to Penguin that he's doing a bad build for idiots.
Yeah.
He's already got 70 damage on it. Might actually be able to take it down if Penguin doesn't respond in time.
Looks like
He's giving up.
Lemony is backing
Premature
off.
capitulation there.
Yeah.
French tactic.
But if some aggression comes later, this extractor will be slightly easier to kill.
Good point.
Yeah, that could be big in the late game.
It won't be as useful for like if you're gonna get a Viper on it to start getting
Yeah.
some energy.
You won't be able
That
to
could be a
extract
big
it.
problem, and yeah.
So we have speed on the way for the Zerg player. We have factory now on the way for Lemony Tang. So I'm gonna make a prediction here. I'm going to predict that Lemony is going to go mech.
Some mech, you say?
Yeah.
He's gonna
Pretty
play
bold
his-
prediction.
I don't know about that. I think Terrans these days always go biomine, so without exception, I believe.
I don't think I've ever seen a game that's not biomine from the Terran.
Any Terran.
Second that.
Yeah.
So Lemony Tang's got one idle SCV, so pretty weak stuff there.
He's gonna pop
This guy's
into the
supposed to be
base
good at macros.
again with his SCV and see that there's still no gas being mined.
Where is this drone
Penguin's
going?
actually up to quite a few minerals. I think he's...
I'm not sure why he doesn't have a
doing.
third yet.
Yeah, he
have a
should
third
really
one.
be taking a third hatch.
Oh, he's taking it at the far right position.
Oh, there we go.
That's an interesting...
Cute. We'll have to
There you
hope
go.
there's no like Hellbat drop going by there or something.
Well, it wouldn't really make sense to go the long way around, I don't think.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right. And he's
Yeah,
got no-
you'd have to actually just like go 3 times the distance to get to your opponent's base.
This is actually pretty cool. I mean, it probably will get to mine a lot before Lemony decides to take his fourth there.
Yeah, especially because Lemony's probably going to be looking towards expanding over to his west instead of
Also,
up.
yeah, also Lemony might be thinking there's some kind of all-in coming because there's still no third.
Yeah.
Could be playing defensive. And there's a Roach Warren, but I'm not sure if it's going to do anything. Cloak Banshee is old school. Out of Lemony Tang.
Yeah, I feel like it's not as common anymore because the Spore Crawler doesn't require an evolution chamber anymore. But I think it can still be quite effective, especially if you want to deny creep or any of movement across the base.
Call me wrong, it looks like Lemony's going to throw down his third over at the upper base.
Well, considering it's under construction, I would say he is throwing it down there. Yes.
In the
So
meantime,
you're right on that
Lemony
one. Good call.
is adding down 2 factories, so
The Banshee is
it
actually
likely-
immediately spotted by this Overlord here. Let's see
He can
if
still
he
do some damage.
responds.
There's no spores. He's probably not going to build any spores because he won't think there's cloak. Ton of roaches being made. And the Hellions
takes out 1 Hellion,
down.
but the rest look like they'll be able to get away.
Looks like he's pulled the Banshee back to respond to this Roach attack here.
He has
how
quite
many
the supply
roaches?
depot walls going on in his natural.
There's still no tanks and even no factory tech labs, so...
Yeah, we have 2 Banshees and 8 Hellions versus 20 Roaches.
And a shitload of Banelings, too, coming in.
But these 2 Banshees, there's nothing that's going to take them out, so these Roaches are just Eventually, gonna die.
Their time
should-
is limited, so they have to get in there and do the damage. Oh no!
Shock.
Wonder what he's gonna go for.
Failing.
He's gonna blow up
Some-
2 depots.
A lot of SCVs have gone down, so it's pretty good for Penguin.
Just
Yeah, we've
close
lost
the wall.
13 so far.
These roaches, they're all just gonna die without doing much more, though, probably. As I say that,
He really needs to run into the main like mineral line, I think, and then snipe a couple SCVs. It looks like he's trying to take down the reactor, and nope, he's not gonna get it.
well, he got that all-important depot, which was
Yeah.
good enough. So it was a real
He almost
high
survived
target
the
there.
D10 there.
Lemony Tang actually has 1,200 minerals right now,
Yeah.
which is cool. So you get interest in that, I believe.
And this attack is now held off. And Lemony Tang's only 4 workers behind, so...
So Penguin actually didn't target anything at the third of Lemony Tang, so it kind of just went on unmolested, which is lucky for him. These
Yeah.
roaches are all just running by it.
He actually hasn't seen it. Those roaches are just kind of passing by without noticing it, and it's just kind of sitting there with 3 meals on it.
Oh, these widow mines. It's so imbalanced that they don't do damage to each other.
Now he's gonna walk up Terran versus 2 siege tanks.
So
Needless to say, that's not gonna go very well.
he's trying to even the game up a little bit.
GG.
What the hell?
GG gets called.
Huh.
That,
I feel like after that attack, he wasn't in the best of positions, but he wasn't,
I would.
losing. He wasn't
I
losing
think
the
he's still
game.
ahead.
Still could have played
this
that out, I
Helen
think.
Doc is about to do absolutely nothing, and as far as he knew, Lemony Tang didn't even have a third, so
Well,
I have no idea.
Lemony Tang takes that game, bringing Team Terran 1-0 over GMs of BM. I feel like it was a very early GG by by Penguin, but
An Idra GG, perhaps?
I think we might be able to consider that an Idra GG. But let's get into the.
Well played by Lemony Tang, I guess. Very good defense of the Roach Bane all
Was it? I think it was not a great defense. It was
It
decent.
could have been a lot better, but then again, so could a lot of other things about that game, but whatever.
It was a fun game, at least.
I feel like if
Yeah.
Penguin was able to basically figure out that third and then kill all the stuff there, then he would have been in a not a great position, but a fine position.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the follow-up of suiciding a bunch of roaches up a ramp versus mines and siege tanks was not the best decision-making.
Anyway, so let's get into our second game between GMs of BM versus Team Terran. It will be our platinum game, I believe, on Neoplanet S. It will be between Sports Liker and Frolic.
So ironically, Frolic is actually a black guy, while Sports Liker is a sort of a retro little figure. So it looks like Sports Liker is more of the nerd type. Frolic is the jock, so I think he's got the edge in this matchup.
I literally don't know what that means.
Anyway, spawning in the bottom left as the yellow Terran for Team Terran, it is Sports Liker.
And in the top right, spawning as the Red Zerg, playing for Team GMs of BM, it is Frolic. So another TVZ.
Maybe
I have literally no opinion about TVZ on this map, so if any of you could inform me, that'd be great.
It's a pretty decent Zerg map, I think. There's a couple of main attack paths. You can split up your forces pretty well. It's hard to defend 4 bases of the Terran, so the late game isn't as bad as it is on most maps. I could be totally wrong, but
I don't have opinions, so I think it's a great map for playing StarCraft.
it's a good map for Reapers, so we could see some Reaper action. You could see this SCV fail to build a barracks.
Well, it's a very early scout by Frolic, so he could try to do some harass, but
Or he's just gonna run on out of there. I think the only thing he saw is that it wasn't gas first. I feel like if you're gonna scout that early, you might as well keep the drone alive inside the Terran's main and scout the gas timing.
Well, these days Terrans are always getting that fast second depot, so it's kind of suicidal to just leave your scout in. Everyone goes Reapers anyway. You don't need to scout it.
But Sportsliker isn't going Reapers, surprisingly.
Yeah. Clearly he's a noob. So
Just gonna go for gases expand, which probably could. Or no, he's not. He's gonna. Where is he? He has the SCV sitting at the natural. I assume he's gonna throw down a CC eventually. Some pro tier micro going on here. Drone has one hit left on it. The
Drone
SCV
is gonna get away, looks like.
godly micro. And
Yeah.
the Overlord not going to be killed by the Marine for some reason.
We have our 10 health SCV providing overwatch here while the CC builds. So we're on the Zerg side. Anything unusual happening?
Nah.
Standard stuff. Sportsliker saw the gas too, so. Oh man.
He's gonna get this.
Overlord is gonna get taken out though.
That's a bit of a
That's
setback.
unfortunate.
Yeah. We have another one actually building right now, and then another one on the way, so he's not going to be supply blocked, but
Alright, colon P, or bracket P.
Yeah. Not going to be supply blocked for too long, but that is 100 mineral setback quite early in the game.
Yeah, especially losing your very first Overlord that you sent to scout. It's just not fun to have.
Now I think Frolic actually could have run the Overlord away to the high ground, kind of to the north of Sportsliker's natural, and saved it there.
Yeah, he kind of
But he
tried
elected
to
to
go...
run out to the space area.
Yeah. Because if you park your Overlord up here, then the Marines can't see up to the high ground. And you're safe. We do see a third command center coming out of Sportsliker.
Before
this
gas,
is ballsy.
super greedy.
It's pretty ballsy. But it
And he
is
still hasn't
immediately
started
scouted by
gas.
Frolic.
Absolutely no tech, and only one barracks. Oh, second barracks coming out. I'm guessing we're going to see Bio Widow mines this game.
Because that's literally the only way to play TVZ.
It's the only way to play at all. If you're not playing TVZ, you might as well kill yourself.
Okay, now what do you feel? What do you think about this choice of third position from Frolic?
I think it's pretty good. It's a lot. I feel like it's a lot more wide open than this top base, because there's this nice choke that Terran can just sit at and be really freaking annoying to kill.
It's also kind of a faster push distance, though, from the Terran natural. Up this kind of tall ramp, that's a good place to stick Widow mines and stuff. So that can be very annoying. It's safer against drops, though, usually.
I don't know. I feel like they're both decent choices, and I definitely think it just depends on how you feel. There's no right answer. 2 evolution chambers going up for Frolic, so it looks like he wants to get some double upgrades going.
I find it interesting that they're built a little bit behind the kind of natural choke area rather than at the choke area. But not a big deal.
I think this made because of this creep tumor. I'm not quite sure why I put it in that position.
He immediately starts his 1-1 melee and armor upgrades.
So his upgrades will be significantly ahead of the Terran, who's just getting his first engineering bay.
The Terran's way ahead, though, economically. He's got 34 SUVs, actually ahead in the harvester count. and that third CC, so...
Yeah, it's not a good place to be as Zerg. This third's actually going to get scouted by these 5 Marines. He could lose his queen if he's not paying attention. It looks like he's going to lose.
He's sending in 1 Zergling. He's got this 1 Zergling. It could do some damage.
No, he's got 7 more.
Or 8.
It'll be okay.
So he does clean that up, but you're right, is that he's very low on drone count. So despite having this third base, it's not
He's
really
actually,
mining.
also in addition to having low drone count, he's got 19 in his main and 8 at his natural, so he's not transferring, but
No, he
his
just
income
did.
was a little less than...
He's got a lot
Bit.
of queens, but not a lot of creep spread for that many queens.
And this layer is also pretty slow, so it'll be hard for him to use all the gas that he's banking up for quite some time.
But on the bright side, he'll be way ahead in upgrades for a
Looks
long
like
time.
Stim is about to finish for Terran, so he's going to push out with these couple Marines.
This could actually...
This is actually spotted by those Zerglings, so he should be able to rally a defense. We've got 5 Banelings morphing, and 16 Zerglings being built right now.
So we'll have
And
to watch
along
out
with these
for
Marines,
them.
we've got 2 Widow Mines. These could prove very deadly.
If he gets good hits on his Widow Mines on those Banelings, then those Marines can pretty much tear through all the Zerglings that Frolic has got.
He's given Frolic a lot of time, though, so more Zerglings coming out, Baneling speed's on the
I
way.
feel like he could have been a little more aggressive with the mine positioning, just kind of cutting off the natural from the third.
Looks like he's going to move in now,
though.
though. He's got Medivacs, so this would be the time to attack.
Stim's done, Medivacs are done. Frolic's going to have, well, he does have 1-1. Has some SCVs along for the ride, too. He's going to retreat to his mines. I feel like oh, and all the mine gets a good hit. Banelings. Wow. Looks like that mine actually, in conjunction with the Baneling, maybe took out a bunch of the Marines. I wasn't really watching.
Yeah, that was pretty good mine targeting by Frolic, too. It manually right-click a couple of mines. So he
Did he do that?
survived pretty well.
One mine got 16 kills, so mines are pretty freaking overpowered, I'd say.
He's got an Overseer, but it's nowhere near the actual battlefield. Oh, there's another one.
Okay, well,
Like-
we said a little bit earlier about this fast third TC helping Terran get ahead, but he hasn't really been mealing from it that effectively. And he's still ahead in the worker count, but he could be more ahead, I feel.
He's actually got a ton of energy on these orbitals, so he's going to drop like 15 mils on this third as soon as it lands. Which is going to be disgusting.
Everything Terran does is
Yeah,
disgusting.
he doesn't really have the production right now to spend that money. He's actually queuing up 4 Marines in each racks already.
He's got no reactors. That's probably why.
Yeah.
The only reactors on the Starport. All these naked barracks.
Ooh, in the meantime, some nice Baneling hits get off on Schwarzliker's army, culling the Marine count quite a bit.
Frolic is still really low on economy, but he is surviving.
Yeah, and he's
And he's
getting
going to get...
decent engagements.
He actually just pumped a bunch of drones, I think. He was at 41 workers, now he's up to 59.
Well, and he's going to have 2-2 against just 1-0. And no further upgrades by Sportsliker, so... His army is going to be pretty difficult to handle.
Has he elected? He hasn't. He's built a spire. We see 5 Megaliths on the way now.
So I don't think there's any turret. Oh, there's 1 turret up in the natural. So these mutas could do some damage to the mineral line if they wanted to.
Yeah, if they go into the third, and I think Frolic sees that third. He does see that the third is active, so he should be able to swing in with the Mutalisk when they're done and wreck that third. There's no turrets up, there's not really any defense up there. The Marine count, because Sportsliker has been taking a bunch of these engagements, the Marine count's pretty low.
Sportsliker is banking up a lot of money though, so if he can get enough production to spend that down.
He really needs to build add-ons for his barracks. He's got one reactor.
Well, at the moment, I know he doesn't have that many racks at all for 3 bases. So if he just popped down like 4 or 5 more racks, then I think he'd be able to pretty much outproduce Frolic.
There's actually a lot of mutas now, and they're gonna go hit the natural. There's only one turret. Could do a ton of damage.
We have a small force of Marines, each of them with a medevac, positioned outside Frollic's third, accompanied by a tank. Yeah, there's literally a 1-to-1 ratio of Marines to
Oh, there's an
medevacs.
SCV massacre in the natural. This is not
17
good.
workers killed already.
And he switched into Marine tank for some reason.
Yeah, this tank pickoff's gonna be good.
Tanks
I
aren't
feel like
as,
mines
they're
would
not mines.
be better.
Tanks
because-
aren't mines, so they're not as good as mines. It looks like despite Frolic accidentally nearly killing these rocks, the muta's still owning. Marineless medevacs chilling
Yeah,
out.
Imagine,
Third.
it looks like an attack got cleaned up here in the Zerg's third.
Looks like the rest of Sportsliker's army is going to get cleaned up pretty shortly.
Yeah, the muta's swinging in to pick off the rest of these Marines.
With the upgrade advantage that Frolic has, I'd say that it's really hard for Sportsliker to take a good engagement.
We have literally nothing in production. Oh, now 4 Marines on the way.
And this third
And
is
Queen.
going to die in all the SCVs around it.
Sportsliker just lost like 6 medevacs and he still has 14. So, a pro amount of medevacs, but nothing else really.
We now have 14 Mutalisks being produced.
I
I
think
think
mutas
that
are
is
pretty
going
good
to
against
be
medevacs.
the killing blow if these Zerglings are not the killing blow, which it looks like they might be. There's no mines or anything to guard the choke, and this tank's gonna come out and
Killing more and more SCVs while it's happening. 47 workers have already been killed for Frolic.
we have the mass changeling VM. It's happening.
It's almost enough mutas to just take out these Marines by themselves.
I think that's quite a bit of an exaggeration, but
Yeah, well,
Mutalisks are pretty good.
there are a ton of medevacs out.
Yeah. Frolic being kind of cute. Oh, no, he's just gonna
Not
go for
microing
the head-on
his
attack. Yeah. I feel like kind of dancing over there between the high ground and low ground outside the natural is smart, but then he decided to stop microwing and lost a bunch of his Mutalisks.
so 42 lings in production. But
We
somehow
actually
this game
have
is
full
not
energy
over.
at both orbital commands.
Right now, Frolic is
He doesn't
banking up
wanna
a
mine out.
ton of money, and making lings is really larva inefficient for that.
He really needs to be looking, I think, towards getting his hive tech started. And maybe taking a 4th.
Look, Sportsliker's moving out, so
Kill micro from the Marines leads to most of them getting destroyed by banelings right in the middle of the map.
17 more mutas on the way. It's the hard counter to mass Marine medevac, so he's in good shape there. The 4th base is down. And so are 12 mules.
Doesn't look like Sportsliker has any intention of retaking a third. I think he's probably just gonna mass up and try to kill Frolic soon.
Guys, why is it
He
why isn't
has
this game
spent-
over yet?
Spent his significant bank.
Yeah, the tank's gonna go down.
One tank gets picked off. That's actually kind of a big deal, because now there's really nothing to deal with these bunch of banelings. And here's the big engagement, probably the last one of the game. Sports like are not really microing, almost gets around it. And all these Marines go down. Medevacs getting targeted.
I don't know if there's anything Sports Liger can really do now. I wouldn't be surprised if Frolic just kind of A-moves towards the Terran base and kills everything.
There's a 5 Marine squad going up to the upper rank, so it could kill the 4th. And that might bring the game back
into
to
the middle of the
even.
map and just took that pass.
Oh yeah, good point. Well, it's unlucky that Frolic hasn't taken the goal.
GG is called.
Alright, so Sports Liger, or Frolic will tie the series up 1-1 for GMs of BM versus Team Terran. So I think the big thing during that game was upgrades, and with 2-2 versus 1-0 Marines, it was just too hard for Sports Liker to take a good engagement and kept trading inefficiently with Marines against Ling Bling. And probably didn't have enough AoE and mines and tanks either.
Yeah, I feel that the switch from mines into tanks was a poor one, because at that point, that was when the Mutalisks were coming out, and tanks, unfortunately, don't shoot up.
I think he had the right idea with that greedy build, but it just kind of spiraled out
Yeah,
of
I feel
control
like
there.
if you're going to go fast 3 OC, you really need to be spending that energy, and really, once you've hit saturation on your 2 bases, you need to move out to the 3rd. Okay, game 3.
Let's get into Game 3, which will be on GSL Red City. It will be Elegans versus Epic Thread.
This is a diamond match.
Diamond match. Epic Thread playing for Team Terran and Elegans for GMs of BM. Looks like we'll be having a TVT this time. So both teams playing in spirit for Team Terran, I feel. So I think whoever wins, Team Terran wins.
That's how we score it officially, right?
Yeah.
Like any territory, that's Team Terran.
Alright, spawning in the top left for GMs of BM. Sorry, for Team Terran, it is Elegans.
Actually, I think you've got that the wrong way around. I think Epic Thread is the team.
They're both Team Terran.
Okay, this is true. Spotting in the bottom left as a pink Terran, also playing for Team Terran, it is Epic Thread.
It's Epic Thread with no HF, just the GL. So
Yeah,
it's already BMing.
I don't. He doesn't actually have any fun playing this game.
Well, I mean, it's understandable. This game, it's not for fun.
Yeah,
Especially if you play Terran.
I mean, playing random, I can say Terran is pretty much the least fun race to play. I mean, basically you can do whatever you want and it'll probably work because you're fucking Terran. There's a lot less variety in what you can do.
Both players scouting wrong. It's very bad scouting
Yeah.
on both their
this
parts.
is awful. This is like bronze level scouting, I feel.
Are these positions like good for one of these players and bad for the other one, or?
I think it all kind of washes out.
Yeah, because
Just
there's...
because the 3rd and the 4th are pretty much identical.
Yeah. So you can, depending on the positions, this can be either your 3rd or your 4th, and vice versa. So you can adapt to pretty much whatever position your opponent is in. Looks like we might see 2 SCVs meet. Across
And
the
there
map
we
from
go,
each
give
other.
each other a little high five and continue on.
Very sad. Neither player ain't even with their scout, which is what all the pros do. So they don't even exchange like a little drill or anything.
Fusion cutter thing. Right.
Nothing too unusual coming out of either player. Both getting gas.
So,
Elegance is actually going to go
reactors.
for his command center before his second depot. Whereas Epic Thread is just going to put down, or he's already put down his second depot.
Yeah. I
Pretty
don't,
much mirror
that
builds.
seems like
now.
I don't really know too much about the Terran, but that seems pretty bad to be supply blocked for so long.
I feel like if you're going to get the reactor anyway, which he's doing, then it's fine because you're not building anything.
But he will be lower
And
on
he's still-
SCV count.
But he still has the room to build that one SCV, and he's gonna miss. He's gonna miss like one SCV while that depot builds, which is unfortunate. But
I think
The
he
CC
could
is a
build
lot
that.
faster though, so you can build that CV out of the command center at some point. If he's into that.
both players also building a factory, so they've built the same buildings, just in a slightly different order. And Epic Thread is up 2 workers somehow. So I guess that supply block might have made the difference. We'll see.
And I think I might have missed it, but I think Epic Thread's SCV got taken out by Marines at the front of Epic's base. But that's why.
Yeah, we have a 1-kill Marine here, so that accounts for one of the SCVs, I guess. The other one was a supply block. Fast starport actually for Elegance.
Kind of a delay on Epic Thread's starport, so he might be going for a Hellbat drop or something. He's almost got enough gas for an armory and a starport.
We see
Maybe
the
he's just
starport
going to
go
do
down.
something normal.
No armory yet.
That's pretty sad, because I heard Hellbat drops are good.
Yeah, that's what I'm told as well.
Looks like we are going to get a drop of some sort going on. Epic Thread does scan and see everything that Elegans is doing, so he sees the Hellions and the starport go down. They're already building.
Okay.
So that should suggest he's going to do
We
some
actually
kind of-
saw Epic Thread cancel his own medevac. So I don't know if that was a response to seeing Elegans medevac, or if he just decided that I don't want one. He's actually done it again. He built a medevac, canceled it, and is now building a Viking.
Neither player is going mech, so
This
this really is a
Marine-
loss for Team Terran.
This Marine drop is gonna end up in the base before the Viking is out, but there's a couple Hellions here to deal with it.
I don't think 2 Hellions will be quite enough, though. Deal with this 7 Marine drop.
Actually, just the threat of the drop, I think, is already causing damage. He's
Meantime, Elegans is moving in with some
Oh, he's...
Hellions
oh.
to take out all the SCVs that are natural.
he did lose the medevac though, with all the Marines inside it. So we've traded a medevac and 7 Marines for 7 worker kills
Pretty good.
and a little bit of lost mining time.
So I'd say they came out pretty even during that trade. Losing a medevac is painful, but so is losing a bunch of SCVs at your natural. Meantime, there's quite a few SCVs just following an SCV in the main of Epic Threads. Just for fun.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Just for funsies.
The little SCV has a retinue.
So he's doing a little...
Okay, we're gonna
push.
see another Hellion run by, I think, and there's actually... Oh, no, he's not going to go in.
This tank could just
A missed
fight off
oppor-
his wings.
Tank going down is pretty painful for Elegant. I don't know if he has anything else to really hold on.
He's got 4 Hellions coming back from Epic Guard's base, but that's not going to be enough. And He might be in trouble here, boys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Elegance.
look, there's really nothing to save the SCVs at the natural.
All of the SCVs have died, bringing epic threats, killing 18 workers already, way above what Elegance managed to take down.
Now this does get cleaned up, but Elegance is now down 10 workers, so that's a bit of a rough position to play from.
On the bright side, neither player was really macroing during that attack, so they're both on an even footing as far as not making stuff goes.
Yeah, the army supply actually right now in Elegance's favor.
The third base going up for Epic Thread, though, and I don't think Elegance can do anything about it. Even if he finds out about it.
He does have a few medevacs and some bio, so maybe
There's
drop
3
play.
tanks now, so I think he's gonna have a real hard time getting anything done here if he decides to muscle his way in.
Yeah, I definitely don't think Elegance can attack through the front, but
It looks like he's gonna go for a drop into the back.
there are
Into the turrets,
Wow.
in the
missile
tanks.
turrets. That's pretty painful.
Yeah, one of the medevacs only manages to drop half its load before going down. They all end up getting picked off, and so does the drop.
Yeah, that was definitely not worth it for Elegance.
Oh, another medevac's going in. Didn't even have anything in it, but it did die. Elegance is way behind now. He's making marauders for some reason. Are those good in TDT? I mean, nobody makes them, right? Anyone?
That's the sound of a tumbleweed blowing across
Supposed to
blowing
be
across the
fucking
casting
casting.
booth.
Jesus Christ. Please pretend to have an opinion.
Okay, so we see Elegant's own third CC is now finished. A little bit behind Epic Threads, and it's built in the main, so he still has to fly it out. So he's going to be playing from behind, I think. He's almost caught up in workers, but his third is later. He doesn't have the third orbital yet. And he's half the army supply of Epic Thread.
Meanwhile, Epic Thread looks like he's loading up for a 2 medevac full marine drop sometime. Yeah, now he's boosting them out. So he'll try to see if his own drop play can work out better than Elegance.
There's no defense in Elegance base.
Yeah, there is no turrets, no
Wow.
units.
Yeah, everything of Elegance is concentrated at his front, so these marines could do a lot of damage.
There's one extra empty medevac is going to scout the third, too.
Looks like if Thread will kill a little bit and get away.
That could have gone a little better for Epic Thread, I think, but not a big
He
deal.
actually,
He's
he actually
still,
just killed one SCV, so
yeah.
pretty solid defense there.
But luckily he didn't actually lose anything, unlike Elegance.
Yeah, I feel like Epic Thread's target firing could have been a little better. But now he's got the threat of that double medevac drop and a bunch of units kind of south of the natural, so Elegance is going to have to deal with both threats. And it looks like he's going to drop that in the third and kind of move in towards the natural at the same time. Elegance going to pull back and respond in his third. I feel like Epic Thread could have targeted that command center down.
One-
He's going to lose.
Medevac does go down.
And then the attack in the natural commences. 3 medevac drop on a little high ground part to get past the natural choke. The natural
He's
command
gonna
center
lose
could
this.
fall here. He's repairing it. He's out
So
repairing
he's
it.
all
But he's losing a bunch of
So
SCVs.
many SCVs are going down. Currently 45 kills for Epic Thread. Going even higher. My goodness. unit tab,
Wow.
we see 57 SCVs for Epic Thread versus 26 for
26.
Elegance.
We have Elegance target firing his own barracks. Okay, he stopped now. He did manage to save. Oh no, he might lose a third command center now. Epic Thread's one surviving medevac of Marines is now making its way in, and yeah, that CC is going down. So
That might be it.
Epic Thread still way behind now. He's even farther behind.
Yeah, Elegance is way behind.
Or sorry, yeah, Elegance losing that third was huge.
Seems like
He's not even
Epic
going to be able to
Thread.
mingle to try and catch him.
He's just gonna go for the kill at this point. Hopefully,
Well, he is taking a fourth in the bottom right as well, so
he's not gonna go for the kill.
he doesn't
Twice the army supply. I feel like he could kind of go for the kill while expanding everywhere at the same time and be okay.
Maybe Elegance should hide a couple of bases and start playing Protoss.
Yeah,
Situation.
I found that works out well.
I feel like Elegance should just make lots of tanks and transition into mech, because mech is better.
So he's going for a drop, but it's just actually just chilling, not dropping. Not sure what good that does.
And medevac gets spotted. And this drop, I think, is going to be cleaned up quite easily. He could actually lose that medevac. Whoa!
Just
Barely makes it
barely.
away because of the
15
overpowering boost. Now, if Elegance has one saving grace, it's that Epic Thread's macro could be a little better. He got supply blocked pretty hard, and he has a bit of a bank building up, but he's about to be maxed, and I think that's going to prompt him to just kind of go in there and win the game.
Yeah, at the point that you're maxed, you're kind of just wondering, like, what else do I do? I guess I'll go throw all my units at the opponent. That's generally how I feel. Why not? And I feel like Epic Thread's army is so much larger right now. Well, may not into siege tanks, but definitely take out this third. And force Elegance into a really uncomfortable, even more uncomfortable position.
I feel like Epic Thread should be scanning a lot more. What with all the oh, there goes one now. What with all the energy he's built up on his orbitals. I mean, he obviously doesn't need the money. He already has 2k minerals. I feel like he's playing pretty smart with this one medevac of Marines, you know, threatening to pressure the third, but I feel like he should have been, again, attacking to the natural while doing that to split Elegant's attention.
Looks like this drop from Elegance is actually going to do some damage at the third if it starts doing
If he
something.
decides to A-move.
He might just wait for these turrets to get up so his medevac can die.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what he's waiting for. The timing is excellent.
Meantime, he is killing a good deal of SCVs.
Just to grab a couple add-ons here, just as a kind of a bonus.
So Elegance is slowly making his way into this, because Epic Thread isn't really doing anything with it.
We have a big attack for the third now, and I think there's really no way Elegance can save it. It's going to go down where he can...
Now, all of his tanks are at the natural for some reason, so they're not really doing anything. And it goes down.
Did Epic Thread catch that one medevac heading off to the south?
He should have barely caught it. I don't know if he's...
Maybe if he wasn't paying attention, he might not have noticed it. He does have he still has that turret ring up in the main, so Elegance is going to have to be a little careful anyway.
Looks like instead he'll try to go through the front where...
There's 4 tanks just chilling.
Yeah. Also not a
Is
great
he going to
one.
bomb the tanks? I hope he bombs the tanks. He's bombing the tanks.
Might just not have enough.
Yeah, Epic Tab was smart.
And it turns
with
out
siege.
there are Marines as well.
And Elegance is pretty close to mining out, so
Yeah, he's gonna have to make something happen, I think.
I think he should pull all his SCVs and go for it.
Where's
This
this
one
medevac heading?
medevac
Oh.
just
Oh,
kind of
no.
taking the express flight to hell. Elegans, yeah, he's 60 supply behind. He doesn't really have much of a bank. Epic Thread is maxed and has 3k in his trust fund. He's not making anything because he can't make anything because he's capped in supply. He's just kind of sitting here outside the turret doing nothing. And dropping into the main inconsequentially. I mean, this is okay, I guess, in terms of winning the game, because there's not much Elegans can do to break out, so he's just gonna starve. But it's also boring as hell.
Yeah. Please more entertaining games next time, Team Terran.
Yeah, but that would probably necessitate that they switch to races that aren't Terran, because Terran's boring as hell. Alright, so 4 tanks gonna run into a siege line here. But even despite taking that poor engagement, there's just not enough stuff from Elegans to hold this. Actually, I could be proven totally wrong here, as Epic Thread just kind of A-moves into this giant choke and gets demolished. Geez, that didn't go very well, but he's producing like 1 billion Marines at a time, and...
He actually is not producing any Marines now. Just so you know.
No, he's still got 6 in production.
And
That is the
Elegans
GG.
gives the GG.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
So Epic Thread, if at all possible, even better as a player than a caster. Just leave that out there.
Alright, so that puts Team Terran up 2-1.
So it looks like GMs of BM will have to win the next 2 for them to win this series. And our next match will be, I believe it's a gold match?
We'll find out once we launch this free play and look at the borders.
Yeah. So our next match will be on Akalon Wastes between BMAC and Moondog.
This is match 4 of our 5-game series.
And
So is BMAC playing for Team Terran, or
BMAC is playing for GMs of BM. Moondog is playing for Team Terran.
wasn't clear on that? It looks
Yeah.
like a silver match, I think.
Looks like it. Perhaps another team had a gold leaguer to send.
Yeah, I believe this game's restriction was Gold League or lower, so teams maybe agreed to send out silver players, or that's just what ended up happening.
So in the top left, we see the Terran player for Team Terran. It is Moondog.
And in the
He's
bottom
ripping
right,
my name backwards for some reason.
as the blue Zerg playing for Team GMs of BM, we have BMAC.
I'm not sure why these players at a Silver League level are chatting so much. Probably adversely affects their game.
Oh, there's
Actually,
really
they're
not
both
much you
fine,
need to
so-
do in the
Okay,
first
we're
minute.
again seeing a fairly early scout from our Zerg player.
Maybe that's what they teach at the GMs at BM.
Yeah, that's kind of the team style.
Send out a really early scout and then don't really do anything with it. So they're...
There's no need to judge. No need to judge different styles between teams. There's nothing wrong with that. Oh, he does manage
Oh, he
to block
denies the
barracks.
effects again.
Maybe there's
That's-
something to this
It's-
style.
Yeah. It'll have to be developed further, I feel. Alright, it looks like BMAC is also just gonna... No, he's gonna harass the SCV a little. I wonder if he's gonna try and stick around or if he's just gonna leave once this drone gets low. Looks like he intends to at least take another pass.
he does take a good look at the gases, so he knows that it's not like a Reaper
Not a-
opening.
Yeah, it's not a 14 gas or whatever. The second depot now going down, gonna trap this drone. So BMAC can keep this drone alive for a while if he has, if he's paying attention. So he should be able to hang out until he's sure that it's a gasless expand or if he's going to throw down the gas. The Marine's going to come out and make his job a little more difficult though.
But I think
Assuming Moondog uses the Marine. Okay, here it comes.
And at this point, you can generally assume it'll be
Assume that it's going to be an expand.
Yeah.
He might actually.
If he can.
Brave SCV or brave drone giving up his life here. We've got enough money for the command center. Looks like we've got our SCV headed down the ramp to build that now. In BMX base, nothing unusual. He's gone for, I think, hatch first. Or
Yep.
he's got his 100 gas now.
He's still mining gas.
Speed.
So-
He's decided to keep mining gas.
He's not getting speed either. So it could just be late on that, or he could be going roaches, which would be awesome. No, just late.
Just slightly late speed, not a big deal.
Yeah, he's still got the guys
There's
on
no
gas.
Reapers coming out, so he should be fine anyway.
So we'll see if he decides to go for a relatively quick lair, or he's going to throw down a Baneling nest.
So it looks like Moondog is getting a barracks before any type of gas. He's banking up quite a bit of money. We might see a third command center again.
He is doing the sports liker build so far.
Alright, those Zerglings unfortunately did not scout the expand, but he should pretty much be... Like, that should be what he is expecting anyway, based on the gas timing.
I mean, eventually this Overlord will be able to make it up and see the expansion, so you should know.
We have a third barracks now, still no gas. Fourth barracks.
And Roach Warren is going down for BMAC, so May he does suspect some type of, I don't know, Marine SCV all in or something.
If this is a big Marine attack, it shouldn't work. So that's good news for BMAC and the GMs of BM.
He's going to, I think,
Six
he's going to
barracks.
want to put more eyes on what Moondog's doing, though. But yeah, this is gearing up to be pretty all-in-y. We've got 6 barracks, still no gas.
We see 9 roaches in production by BMAC, so it looks like he wants to do some early aggression. And
Now, Roach is actually fairly good against Marines, just because they're pretty tanky. But
If Moondog waits much longer, he could meet the roaches at the top of the ramp, which would be really bad news for BMAC.
yeah, he's
He's
going to
gonna
send
scout
out
this.
some scouting Marines and see the roaches walk across the map.
And now he's taking a gas. And looks like BMAC is the one doing the all-in.
Both
kinda
of them just sitting on 30 workers. BMAC's taking a second gas.
that's a lot of roaches. I don't know if this all unupgraded Marine army can really hold this.
Yeah,
It's
the
like
some
speedling or the
speedlings coming in
speedling
for
follow up
support.
is yeah.
I feel like BMAC might just be able to take an early win. There's no wall at the main for Moondog either.
Speedlings are just gonna run in and I think clean up.
I think BMAC
He could pull something out just because he can produce so much if he just builds a bunker or something at the top of the ramp and raises the depots and buys time with repair. But he should not lose this. He should lift it. Okay, yeah, but
he does have all of his units here, and
he's
packing
gonna
into a
defend
choke.
here.
Really hard for BMAC.
All the SCVs are pulled.
I really hope he lets this out. No, he's going to repair it. Damn.
So unfortunately, BMAC didn't quite keep reinforcing with speedlings, meaning both he banked up some money and he's taking a third and taking at the moment. So BMAC is just gonna sit back and wait for a while.
I mean, he's ahead. There's really no tech from the Terran, and his natural was forced to lift. He's lost a bunch of his SCVs.
And BMAC just built 12 drones, so he's in really good shape economically. Double the harvester count.
Okay, so Moondog is now electing to wall off after the aggression has subsided. Not a bad choice, but, you know, it's a little late.
And he probably thinks BMAC is still going all in, because he's got this SCV at one of the thirds. But he doesn't know about the actual third that BMAC has taken.
Yeah.
At this point, it's really hard for Moondog to really say what he wants to do or what's going on. He doesn't really have much options open.
Yeah, he's in a bit of a bind. His gas is so late. His factory just now starting at the 11-minute mark.
He's also
And he's really got...
pretty high on energy on his orbital commands.
Yeah. So it looks like he's gonna try and take out, or try and move out and take his natural again. He's got quite a few Marines, so he should be able, I think, to ward off whatever's sitting outside his ramp. But
So BMAC at the moment is kind of getting all the good Zerg tech. He's getting
I
basic
feel
speed,
like
Spire.
these missile turrets are an interesting choice. He did not yet. He doesn't know there's a lair. He doesn't actually know there's a spire. So these are really just kind of blind turrets. So I guess he's lucky that BMAC is in fact going spire, but BMAC as well is also going infestation pit. So maybe these turrets will pay off. Maybe they won't.
Meantime,
This
this looks like
SCV is
BMAC
actually
taking
gonna-
a fort.
So I guess we're in for another incredibly boring game as the Zerg decides to capitalize on his advantage by just building bases everywhere and teching up to Hive.
Whoever it was that said that when you're ahead, you should just get more ahead, should go kill themselves.
Well, that's because that
Because
person
they've
was
caused this. They made this happen.
Yeah.
It was
So he's
Artosis.
just now decided that he's going to land his natural orbital after lifting it. This Roach already here to
Greet it.
kind of say, I know what's going on.
Another minute or so before Burrow will be researching just Burrow underneath, just to be extra
So
BM.
these turrets are really going to work out here.
Yeah,
Because
if
they're
BMAC
detecting burrow
decides to
units.
burrow to block the orbital, I mean, he's gonna be spotted.
But he's scanned
I like how he's
anyway,
scanned
just in
anyway.
Yeah.
case. I mean, you don't want to have to
He's still
scan
not landing
after
it, though.
something happens, right?
And finally it lands. I hope we'll see some mules.
Or a worker transfer.
That would be good. Preferably both.
Oh,
Alright, we
two
see
mules.
2 mules.
You want to save some energy for scans. That's good.
Yes, that's true, yeah.
And he has supply blocks, so he'll be able to call down.
I really
supply.
like VMAX vision here. He's just kind of parked a roach in the third. He's parked a couple outside the ramp. He really should have one kind of at the fourth, but whatever, not a big deal. What I don't like is that he's at 4k minerals and he's at 91 supply. He's actually below the Terran in supply right now.
Well, he's waiting for that Ultralisk cavern. It's a
Yeah, I
very good
mean,
thing
he
to
can
do.
just kind of build up larvae, build up
Yeah, right now he
money,
has
and
46
just shit out
larvae.
a bunch of
I have no
Ultralisks.
idea what he's doing with 50 larvae.
Actually, just waiting for Ultralisks is a really great strategy. So,
Because
I
he'll
wouldn't
know
be honest with
immediately
this.
when Terran is moving out. So if he needs to respond, he'll have the larva to build roaches.
so he
and
sees the
bugs.
Terran move out. He did see the move out, and he's making 6 drones, so he feels pretty
Yeah, so
safe.
those 6 drones should be able to hold off any aggression.
The Ultralisk cavern is being built, so it looks like some Ultralisks would be nice.
We actually 50 Zerglings are in
50
production.
Zerglings.
So I think he does feel threatened by Moondog's move out here of 5 Marines to take the He's following it up by moving out the rest of his stuff. Moondog has +1 weapons. He doesn't have stim or combat shields.
Or medevacs.
Doesn't have medevac. Yeah, no medevacs. So
He doesn't have a concussive shell for his 0.
these ultralisks are just kind of gonna eat him alive. If yeah, we've got 14 ultralisks. And this all marine, 1 attack, no armor, no stim, no combat shields army is going to feel the pain. I think he's gonna be able to take down this hatchery, but
At this point, I don't think it really matters.
Yeah, it does not matter. He's still 80 supply behind. He's got no money. He's gonna scan this third and be like, well, might as well go in because there's nothing else I can do.
And he might just lose it all to Ling Bling as well.
Gonna be met by this giant pile of Zerg, and that's that.
Yep.
So look at the units killed. We have 86 units killed for our Zerg player versus 40 for our Terran.
He's
These
got a couple
ultras,
tanks, so he could survive if the tanks can kill 14 ultras.
these ultras don't have their chitinous plating upgrade yet.
He is
And-
researching combat shields. So that might be the...
That might be the key. He's not
And a bunch of ultralisks just knocked on the front door. and I
Ultralisks
think
are
that's
pretty OP
pretty
units.
good against a Terran who's 40 or 80 supply behind and doesn't have any upgrades. And RIP is called from Moondog.
From Moondog. Looks like BMAG tied it up at
Be the
2-2. And so we have GMs of BM tied up with Team Terran at 2-2, going into our rubber match. Sorry, I have a match with Goat Rope after this, I guess. Alright.
Alright, so why don't we just hop on into it?
Yep, so for our final game, we have for playing Dr. D for Team Terran and Goat Rope, or Rope. I don't know how he wants me to pronounce it. Goat Rope, playing for GMs of BM.
So this is a Masters versus Masters match to cap off our series.
I know Dr. Device is pretty good. I haven't seen Goat Rope play for a long time, so...
He was one of the Z's kind of old hands. He's a veteran, so we'll see what he pulls out here.
And spawning in the top left, playing for Team Terran, we have Dr. Device.
And in the bottom right corner, as the Teal Protoss, we have Rope playing for GMs of BM.
Could you clarify on like where he is and what color and race? Because I didn't catch that.
Yeah, he's the purple Zerg spawning at the 11 o'clock position.
Thanks. Yeah, that's actually a yellow Terran there. Liar.
I'm sorry, I'm colorblind.
I'm also
be more
I'm blind.
sensitive.
I don't see race. Okay, we're past that point.
You should make a post in the news views thread.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering why the Korean race is so imbalanced. Blizzard needs to fix this. Let's see. Alright, putting up the scores. So it's tied up 2-2. So we have a TVP going into this. So it looks
The first Protoss, I think, to appear in this series.
like... Yep.
Saving the best for last, obviously.
So, as usual, I predict an easy win for Rope because he plays Protoss.
Yeah, I would. I'm inclined to agree with you there.
Looks like we're going to see one Rex expand from Dr. Device, taking
How do
no
you feel
gas.
about this map for TVP?
I think it's a lot better for Terran than a lot of other maps.
I feel like one base blink is really good on this map, but I say that about every map because it's good on every map.
That's true. Just every game, one base blink.
Yeah,
Not a bad idea.
agreed.
So Rope's going just one gas, which is kind of old school.
Well,
Yeah.
Not
he's
sure
an old
what's up with
school
that.
player.
He's an old school player, yeah.
True that.
We're gonna see some old school builds, some
Like a
3-gate
3-gate
robo.
expand, or like 3-gate robo. But yeah, Dr. D electing to go for the gasless expand.
Actually, a really fast Nexus on 20 supply, so pretty greedy. It's probably gonna get Warp Gate and a Stalker first.
You don't really need a quick as possible warp gate. Like, it's helpful in things like PvP or PvZ, but
When you're playing like this kind of, I guess, greedier style, it doesn't really matter whether it's at, 6:30 or 6:45.
I guess you're right. No Mothership Core yet.
yeah, that's generally a pretty unusual. You like to get the mothership core, build some energy.
Yeah,
maybe.
usually you'll go up to, you'd never really want to cut worker production, but usually once you've hit like, 16 or whatever, you might as well just kind of pause for a bit to get that mothership core going. But looks like he's just going to throw down his robo first before getting it. If he's going to get it at all, maybe he's just not going to get it. He's forgotten it. He's forgotten he's playing Heart of the Swarm. He's just not going to get mothership core.
Well, just as you say that, he starts the
Yeah, he's-
mothership core, so
Now.
he's listening. He's listening into the cast, I think.
Yeah. I've reached into the past and changed the outcome of this game.
In the meantime, we see 3 barracks going down for Dr. Device, meaning he'll have pretty good bio production, but his
Yeah.
tech will be slightly later. Won't
Yeah,
get
but Go Rope now has his mothership core, so he's safe from literally anything and can just kind of tech up the carriers now.
Pretty much. This is like the most normal game ever. Neither player is doing anything weird or interesting. I guess that was the same with the TVT, but just
Yeah,
because they're
alright.
Terran.
So we've got the OBS coming out now. It's going to go Scout. Now, I know some Protoss players like to be kind of aggressive with the mothership core and their first couple gateway units just to poke the front and kind of see what's going on, but Go Rope here has just kind of elected to sit back and play defensively. He's got a sentry out.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good idea. There's no need to risk all your stuff going out. He's got an observer, so he'll be able to see things pretty easily, pretty early on. There's a pretty fast robo into observer.
That's
Yeah,
actually
he's
pretty
got-
fast robotics bay.
Yeah, the
There's
Colossus
factory's only halfway done. So he could do like a 2 Colossus push or something. I don't know if that's a real thing.
I wouldn't.
It's a very old school thing,
Yeah,
so who knows?
I wouldn't be surprised to see some 2-base play. I'm not saying he's going to, but
But I do think we'll see Dr. Device push out a little bit once his starport gets a couple medevacs going, and then just poke in, maybe do some drop play. Oh, that's interesting. We see the range being chrono boosted out for Colossi before making any Colossi.
and it looks like he's moving out to clear his third. So yeah, he's just gonna go take a third, I guess. Probe is kind of hanging out here until there's money in the bank.
if he takes this really early third, I don't know if he'll really have the units to hold it against any push by Dr.
Yeah,
Device.
especially on this map, I think the third is kind of awkward to defend. And we've got our first medevac's going to finish now. He's going to have He's going to have +1 attack. He's going to have stim. He already has stim. He's going to have combat shields on the way. The first Colossus is out, but he doesn't have too much stuff, so he's going to be spread pretty thin, especially since half of his stuff is kind of...
Yeah, this is really awkward for Rope being in the middle of the
I
map.
think he really needs to pull back. I think if Dr. D kind of stims and picks off a couple of these sentries, Rope is going to be in a bad position, but Rope's going to decide that discretion is the better part of valor and pull back. And I think that's the right decision.
In the meantime, Goat Rope will have 2 Colossi out in time if Dr. Device wants to do any pushing, so should be pretty safe against any frontal pushes.
He actually hasn't started that third yet
hasn't
either,
been
so
started, yeah, so
he's playing it safe. There's the
he's now starting it immediately as the Marines
it's about to
push
die.
in. Yeah, so
cancel
very
that.
well timed there, and he gets a cancel on the Nexus. And I feel that this could be a little bit risky. I mean, all Dr. D really needs to do is pick up and then boost into the natural, but he's going to try and
He's going to take down one
this.
Colossi with a flank.
Yeah, that's good.
But he did lose a lot of
Force
Marines
fields were
doing
pretty
it.
good. He loses 1 sentry and 1 Colossus, but
He did kill
I don't
a
know
ton
if that
of
was
Marines.
worth it.
Probably.
Yeah, a lot of bio died there. The medevac's
Yeah,
medevac stayed alive, so that's good. At least he'll need that starport time for Vikings.
In the meantime, Goat Rope is retaking his third after it was cancelled. So, looks like both players are going to play a little bit more passive. Dr. Device may be looking to do some drop play, not sure if he really wants to yet.
And now we've got a sneaky probe headed around the east side of the map to throw down a couple of proxy pylons.
Looks like Dr. Device may look to go try to cancel that third again. He's kind of positioning himself in a good way. There is an observer right over his army. So
Yeah, we've now got 3 Colossus out, but the gateway army is looking a little small. The Viking count is low though, so it's not going to be too big a deal, but
Looks like he's gonna attack.
looks like he wants to take a fight here.
And changes his mind. And
I think it'd be a little
changes
smart
it.
to maybe kind of swing around to the top side and attack from there, and he was thinking about it and decides to pull back. One thing I don't like is that his mothership core isn't with his units. I feel like it'd be a lot more useful there, either to throw down a time warp or to just get all his expensive units out of trouble if something goes wrong.
Seems fine. He's got it over at his third, so it's for drop defense probably. I don't know how much the mothership core provides in PvT. The time warp.
he's pretty nice.
Cuts off quite a few units for
Good
free.
bio there.
Yeah.
That observer is a real
Or
hero
Colossus.
there.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Dr. D hasn't scanned his army.
I mean, he's literally got it on. Well, actually,
It's on like
manually
follow
doing
command. I
most
think it's
of it.
following a medevac or something, but I think it's now stopped.
I think he doesn't want to follow too far in, get into a missile
Yeah,
turret.
right into a turret. Picks off a depot, and I think that's going to be the cue for a GG there.
I expect an
Sim.
GG any moment.
Yeah, the Colossus count is getting kind of really big, but so is the Viking count here, and
There's
there's
not a
too
lot
much
of
that shoots up.
AoE or anti-air for Goat Rope here.
Yeah.
He's started the Templar archives just now, but he's a long way away from Storm. He's getting blink.
But he only has
Maybe just a
5
lot of
stalkers with his
stalkers.
army.
Yeah, and the Viking count, like there's up to 10 Vikings now, 11, and they're gonna be able to kind of melt these Colossus if there's not enough Stalkers out to deal with them. So it looks like Dr. D is angling in on the third, and the engagement's happening.
Nice
Force fields are
field,
good.
cutting off a lot of that army. But that means that all of these Colossi are just gonna die to these Vikings.
Time warp does go down now. I feel like the next cannon was in range, and it would help in picking off these Vikings, but the mothership core goes down before that happens. There actually might be enough, yeah, I think there is enough on the ground here for Goat Rope to push this back.
So
I feel like if Dr. D had landed his Vikings, he could have taken that fight, but I guess he wants to preserve them and just kind of fall back to re-macro.
I mean, it's nice to keep your Vikings alive so that the next Colossi that comes out is just gonna die.
Well, there's no defense for these Zealots that are going to run into the third, so they could do a ton of damage. Well, SCV pull is pretty fast, so not that much.
Yeah, we now see the fourth moving out for Dr. D. The fourth is being built now for Goat Rope as well. So both players kind of content to take it out to a pretty long game. I feel like Protoss has the advantage in the late game, but
even though
I don't think
Gotrope's
it's winning
getting
this match.
Storm, I don't know.
He
His
just warped
High
in a
Templar
bunch
are
of
just
Templar.
sitting at the base, so they're not really with his army.
I don't think they even have enough energy for Storm.
yeah, they don't have Storm yet. Goat Rope's probably just gonna pull back and play a little more defensively as he takes his fourth.
Dr. D is pretty slow on that Ghost Academy, though, so there's another couple minutes where he won't have any EMPs or snipes to deal with these High Templar.
I think another
Yes.
thing that he's behind on is upgrades. We actually don't see the third level of attack or the second level of armor being researched now, and 3-3 is, or at least the third attack. Or the third attack is now being researched for Protoss, and the third armor is already done.
Yeah, I think we've already seen earlier how...
One High Templar goes down. Ooh, these High Templar could get picked off here. He needs to drop some defensive storms. The storms are, whoa, those are really good storms.
Holy crap.
Most of the
Dr.
Templar are
Device
cleaned up, but
still
I think this
doing a
position is
ton
really
of
bad for
damage.
the Protoss player, yeah.
Taking out
A
all
lot of
the
these
AoE.
units here are really low, but he just doesn't have enough follow-up damage. And the DPS out of the Terran army is really big. Yeah, I mean, look at how low all this bio is. It's all in the orange and red.
There's just nothing for that
Yeah.
Goat Rope to do to give that finishing blow to all that bio.
And the medevacs are now gonna get to work healing all that stuff up. Yeah, getting those Templar caught out of position, I think, was a pretty huge blow. His Colossus ended up attacking from a really strange position, and a lot of his gateway units couldn't really get an angle just because they were kind of on the low ground here and had to go around.
Yeah, the army supply tells it all. 110 to 36 for Gotrope. Pretty much tripling.
Yeah,
Supply.
I think that this is going to be the killing blow here. There's just not enough stuff.
You don't think these 102 probes are going to win the fight?
I mean, Protoss is pretty
Probably should pull
overpowered.
some probes.
I mean, he could pull like 30
Two more
probes and
Colossus
still have a good
get
economy.
produced and just kind of walk into their own deaths.
And GG.
GG.
Wow. Terran OP.
So it looks like Team Terran will take it 3-2 on the heels of Dr. Device's victory.
Disgustingly overpowered team.
Yeah. I mean, I think the outcome was never really in doubt when they decided all to play Terran.
Key decision.
Alright, well, I think that will do it for our cast. Congratulations to Team Terran.
Thank you for tuning in. My sincere apologies as well.
I will never apologize.